I was scouting with Dallas in Texas. He says that there's a lady that felt connected to God and needed to build Capernaum in the middle of Texas. I'm like, that's weird. And I get a DM on Twitter, and it was from a YouTuber. I knew I was here for audience development. I think God gave me clarity on my why. It wasn't that I wanted to make Super Bowl commercials. I wanted to make content that people would have conversations over.
Yes.
Some of them were the fastest growing channels on YouTube, and they were doing deplorable things, and everybody thought that was the gold standard.
Ruslan.
Before we get into that, guys, my name is Ruslan, and this channel exists to encourage you to mastermind your business the master's way. All right, now let's get into the video.
How did you get into kind of becoming like everyone's big brother slash dad on YouTube?
Yeah, it's a couple things. Like, my heart is to really get out good content. So I have kids. I see what they watch online, and I'm like, hey, who's actually helping these people make good decisions?
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of fame, there's a lot of money, and there's a lot of worldly ways to look at things. And I'm like, who is being that? And so I vowed I would actually be one of those people that would just try to amplify light. I would look for people that have talent, and I would help them literally amplify it. And so for me, it was a very, very big prayer that I would give every day, because I'm like, God, you know, there's so much content out there, and I look at the landscape of YouTube and online, and it's deplorable content. And so for me, it was like, could I inspire YouTubers that would inspire other YouTubers? And so I remember there was a social media platform called Vine, and it died, and a lot of people were coming over to YouTube. Zach King was coming over to YouTube, and a few other YouTubers that I don't like to talk about too much. But some of them were the fastest growing channels on YouTube, and they were doing deplorable things, and everybody thought that was the gold standard. And they're like, if I need to grow, I need to be bad to people. I need to treat people bad or prank them or whatever. And I'm like, no, that's not good. And I remember just praying to God. I says, God, you know, help me find people. Help me discover people. I'll give everything that I have just to discover people like you and others that are amplifying light. And I want to take what I learned and help them amplify it. And so fast forward, it was 6 years ago, I was at my conference, it's Vid Summit, where we train these YouTubers about strategies and tactics in business and longevity and so on, that I saw a short film that a creator made. And it really spoke to me. And this short film, I knew it was low budget, and I was pulled into the story. And I'm a content snob. I just like, was it really that good? You know? And so my criticality is really high, but it was really, really good. It spoke to me. And what spoke to me was, I never really thought about how life would have been like in first century at the time of Jesus' birth. I always saw Jesus' birth and the wise men and the shepherds, but I never knew what was their life really like. And so immediately I was pulled into it. And what I loved was the symbolism. It was really, really rich in symbolism. And it just spoke to me. It spoke to me that this poor shepherd, who's like the lowest on the totem pole, just wanted to learn about the Messiah. You know, and then he was even being cast out and rejected by others. And when he went into that synagogue, my heart was like, yes, he's finally there to learn, and yet he got kicked out. But it was what happened next. If you remember, that's when Joseph interrupted him and says, hey, you know, we've been traveling for so long, you know, where's the well? And he pointed down where the well was at. But then he remembered he had water. And so here he is. I mean, it still gets me to this day. He gave his water to the woman that was about to bring forth the living water. And I was like, this is brilliant. And I found out this creator's been trying to do a TV show, and I met him the next week. And what was beautiful from that, from day one, from the first time I met Dallas, we hit it off. We kind of saw the world the same way. He's really strong in some areas, and I'm really weak in those areas, and I was really strong in some areas that he was really weak. And I loved his vision, and for me, it was about really getting people to know about that vision. And I felt at that time I'll be honest with you, I felt like I was prepared because I've been developing audiences my whole career to assist, this creator that had a great vision to share that vision with the world. And so from day one, that's kind of where it all started. But my prayer didn't stop there, and I want to just kind of mention this. I still wanted to impact YouTube because that's where our kids go watch content.
That's right.
And I remember after I talked to Dallas, and it was kind of a freak out moment. It was like, man, you're really tall. And he's like, man, you're really big boned.
Dallas is really tall.
I know. I just didn't expect it.
Yes.
But it was like I called my wife. I says, honey, we're starting a new company. She's like, oh, that's nice to hear. We're gonna do a TV show about Jesus. Oh, that's great. That'll be nice. I have crazy ideas. So she's like very supportive. But it was when we started to write scripts and we went to Jerusalem. I want to come back to Jerusalem a little bit later. But it was, kind of getting, hey, this is going to happen. We're gonna make the show. People are starting to show interest of it. That I was scouting with Dallas in Texas. He says that there's a lady that felt connected to God and needed to build Capernaum in the middle of Texas. I'm like, that's weird. So we went there. And right then and there, we scouted out that beautiful, beautiful set, and I get a DM on Twitter, and it was from a YouTuber. And this YouTuber had a couple million subscribers, and he says, "Hey, would you mind just jumping on the phone and talk data?" And I'm like, "Sure, let's just jump on the phone." And I remember coming just not far from here, and just jumping on the phone, just saying, "Hey, I'm going to get a flight tomorrow, or whatever." And had a really, really good conversation. And this kid, he was 19 years old at the time, he goes, "Where are you at?" I says, "Dallas, Texas." He goes, "I'll be there in 6 hours." I'm like, "You're not going to be here in 6 hours." But he got on a plane and flew there, and sure enough, he was here in 6 hours. And we spent the full day together, and he shared his heart with me. He goes, "I just want to be the biggest YouTuber of all time, and I want to make a ton of money and just give it all away."
Wow.
And I'm like, that's great. And so for me, what hit me was, this is a moment that we can have a new example for YouTube. Someone that's doing good things instead of deplorable things. And what's been great, as The Chosen was able to grow in the popularity, so was this creator. And he's actually the biggest YouTuber of all time.
And
that's Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that happened while you guys were developing.
Yeah.
What a trip.
Yeah, it was so
Thank you so much for watching that video. Guys, I believe that one of the best ways you can build a business is by first building a platform online. So Zach Sparazzo put together a free training for you on the #1 metric you can be looking for to explode your YouTube platform. Click the link in the pinned comment below so you can start that now. All right? I'll see you over there. Peace.